Well, the apparent re-election of Iranian President Ahmadinejad causing a lot of controversy in Iran. And new focus today on a federal investigation here in our country. A Fox News exclusive, The Mystery on Fifth Avenue. He is a prominent New York executive who until recently was president of a multi-million-dollar Iranian-founded charity. But Farshid Jahidi is also at the center of a mystery on New York's Fifth Avenue that has him in the crosshairs of federal prosecutors. Last December, FBI agents arrested him as he was allegedly destroying documents subpoenaed by a federal grand jury, all part of an investigation into the Alavi Foundation. Alavi is headquartered in this Fifth Avenue building on the 23rd floor. Alavi bills itself as a charitable effort to, quote, support interfaith harmony and promote Islamic culture and Persian language, literature, and civilization. In the last 4 decades, it has given millions to schools, universities, and charitable organizations, among them Harvard and Columbia universities, mosques, and Islamic centers across the country. And according to tax records, $30,000 went to the William J. Clinton Foundation in 2006. But questions have long been raised about Alavi's role, its mission, and where it gets its money. Alavi claims more than $100 million in assets, including 60% ownership of this 36-story building down the street from its headquarters on Fifth Avenue. How much can it generate a year?
Right now, it generates about $1 million a month, or about $12 million a year in rent.
A month?
In rental income.
$12 million a year?
Yeah.
So it really is kind of a cash cow.
It is a tremendous cash cow. This is the type of real estate that us as investors, we dream of. Absolutely.
So who owns this lucrative jewel with the Alavi Foundation? Federal prosecutors say it's 2 companies, Assa Corp and Assa Limited, now accused of being front companies for Iran's national bank, Bank Melli. The U.S. Treasury Department says Bank Melli has helped fund Iran's troubling nuclear and ballistic missile programs.
There's no question that Alavi's activities are questionable.
Joe Kilday, with the group United Against Nuclear Iran, accuses Alavi of spreading Tehran's hardline message.
It's very sophisticated, and I think 650 Fifth Avenue is a perfect example of that. We're in the middle of the biggest city in the world, and we had no idea that a terrorist government owned one of the best buildings in the city.
David Cohen, a former top-level CIA official and chief of intelligence of the New York City Police Department, couldn't have been clearer about Alavi in 2002. In this court statement obtained by Fox News, Cohen said, quote, the Alavi Foundation is a non-profit charity, but totally controlled by the government of Iran. The foundation funds a variety of anti-American causes. And just last month, testifying at the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Manhattan District Attorney Robert Morgenthau said Alavi came up in an international financial probe.
We were looking at the Alavi Foundation, this major Iranian foundation in New York, and we found money going overseas to suspect people, and then we were looking at their banking transactions.
Back at Alavi's Fifth Avenue headquarters last December, the feds carted off 100 boxes of grand jury subpoenaed records, apparently trying to find out more about its 60% ownership of that 36-story Fifth Avenue office building just blocks from Rockefeller Center. At the time, Jahidi was ordered not to destroy any subpoenaed documents, but the very next day, according to federal prosecutors, Jahidi shredded Alavi papers and notes. He left his Fifth Avenue office, went to Grand Central, and took a train home to the suburban New York town where he lives. Jahidi didn't know it, but when he got out of the train station, he was being followed by FBI agents. They say they saw him get in his car, drive around, park in this parking lot, wait 5 minutes, and then throw shredded documents into a garbage can. When the agents fished the stuff out, they say the torn paperwork had to do with Assa and the Fifth Avenue building. The next day, Jahidi was charged with obstruction of justice. In court, Jahidi's lawyer, Barry Burke, said his client is innocent because the feds already had seized copies of the same documents he was allegedly throwing away. But this is not the first time the Alavi Foundation has been targeted.
I do believe that it's controlled by the Iranian government.
After his daughter, Elisa, was killed in a Gaza bus bombing in 1995, New Jersey businessman Stephen Flado sued and won a $225 million judgment against Iran. He has not collected a dime. In 2000, the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled against him, him, saying Alavi is not part of the Iranian government and that he could not prove that Tehran had day-to-day control over it.
This is not an independent entity. Now, it may not receive cables or telexes or emails every day saying, we want you to send us this, we want you to send us that. People they put in charge of these foundations know what they have to do.
Alavi's lawyer, John Winter, in a statement to Fox News, said in part, the Alavi Foundation is an independent, not-for-profit entity organized under the laws of New York. It is not owned by, controlled by, or linked to the Iranian government. In addition, he says the Alavi Foundation paid off the building's mortgage before the government claimed Bank Melli was owned by Iran. Back on Fifth Avenue, this gleaming office tower continues to spawn more questions than answers.
This is a very big building. It's a very prominent location, and you would have thought that we could have somehow caught this before it's gotten this far.
In the past, Alavi's lawyer has denied the allegations from Commissioner Cohen that the foundation is controlled by Iran or funds anti-American causes. In a 2002 letter to a judge, he called those claims false and said the foundation's finances are publicly available for anyone to see. In an email, he also rejected the accusations from United Against Nuclear Iran and told us the foundation complies with all American laws. None of the lawyers would go on camera for this story. Sources, though, say the investigation is active and ongoing.